robots. Wait. Over the past decade, we've seen the entire landscape of technology shift, morph, and in a few instances, change overnight. In particular, artificial intelligence has become one of the biggest sectors in tech, and has been applied to aid us in all facets of life. From powering phones and even cars, to the algorithms that serve as the foundation for programs and websites such as Google, Spotify, and the site you're watching this video on, blip.tv. But today, I want to focus on how it may impact, and already is impacting, music.
Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Good question, Will Smith. Let's find out. Let's look at each individual step in releasing a piece of music and see if AI is currently capable of replacing the human performing the task. First up, easily the field that has seen the most advancement with AI, there are numerous programs and applications that aid songwriting and can even let you create a song from nothing. Alyssa is one of the more popular ones, and it's more of a songwriting assistant, letting you and AI write lyrics and melodies together. And it's on the iPhone App Store. I can't get it. Google has their own software called Magenta, which contains some enjoyable tech demos and signal processors. You might know about Magenta because of the Google widget that could harmonize a given melody in the style of Bach. Adam Neely did a great video analyzing it. I'll link to it below if you're interested. My favorite Magenta program is the AI Duet. But it doesn't know what Eiffel 65 is, so 0 out of 10. Amper is another popular one, where you select the parameters and AI effectively writes the music for you. This one is geared a bit more towards video producers, but it can still be used for music without a visual. In fact, last year, the program made headlines when it was used by singer Taryn Southern to create the first album with all music completely written by AI. And if the name Taryn Southern rings a bell to you, congratulations, you've been on this site for as long as I have. Ava is a virtual composer specializing in classical music and was the first to be recognized by a music society. And Dell focuses more on creating soundscapes that help productivity and mood, and it recently signed with a record label. There are plenty more that all serve various purposes, but the program I decided to use is called JukeDeck, which is similar to Amper, music creation by AI intended for soundtracking a visual. I created a few tracks with different moods that all lasted 1 minute and climaxed at 40 seconds. Hey, so funny story. When I went to go retrieve the tracks that I made in JukeDeck for editing purposes, it turned out that JukeDeck Make, the program they have through the browser, had been taken down indefinitely. So instead of the tracks that I made, I found these other tracks that JukeDeck had made on YouTube, and I'll be using them instead. They still prove my point, so it's not like anything major has changed. Goodbye! How did they turn out? It's music, I guess. I mean, yeah, there are instruments, and they're playing notes in rhythm with a tempo. Yeah, it's music that exists. It sounds like someone writing music who knows what music is and how its components function, but doesn't know how to use them in a meaningful way. It sounds robotic. However, let's say that an AI has written a piece of music and wants to perform it for a live audience. How would it? Right off the bat, there are fewer examples of this than AI songwriting. There is that Taryn Southern album I mentioned earlier, but obviously there's a human performing it. There are these Toyota partner robots that debuted back in 2005, which were capable of playing a variety of instruments. However, as Toyota says, their purpose isn't for music performance. They're intended for personal care, transportation, manufacturing. And in a sense, those songwriting programs from before technically do create a performance, but none of them are capable of replicating pieces for a live audience. The closest example is Shimon the robot, hailing from the Georgia Institute of Technology. The robot was fed over 5,000 songs and 2 million riffs, and once it's fed a musical seed from human performers, it's able to write and perform music. How does it sound? I mean, yeah, he's definitely playing music. I mean, it's cool. You can definitely hear melodic motifs and the general sense of form within the robots playing. And it is neat that they were able to build and program this robot in the first place. Whether or not you like what it's playing is up to you, but it's definitely doing it. So this robot's got this piece, and it wants it to be recorded, mixed, and mastered by his binary-minded brethren. What are his options? First, there's virtually no way for robots to record and mix music. The only way you could say they can is if you consider digital audio workstations and some of their tools robots or AI, which to me is a bit of a reach since they still require human input. You could also say that some plugins that use machine learning, like for noise cancellation, are robotic enough, but it's still a reach. And again, you can say those songwriting programs technically do put out a recorded product, but it's recorded in the same sense that MIDI is a sound recording, which to me is still a bit of a reach. As of now, there is no AI that can capture and mix naturally occurring sound, but it can master it. There are a handful of programs that can take in some recorded file and master it for you. The most well-known one, and the one I decided to use, is Lander, which also allows you to distribute it. I gave it an old James Blake cover of mine as a test, so how does it sound? I mean, yeah, it's definitely louder. Like, it's louder by a good margin. A bit more presence in the mids and highs, I think. Bass is kind of squashed. Not a huge fan of how it sounds, but maybe it has more to do with my original mix. And yeah, that's a brief overview of what AI and robots can do when it comes to music creation. As you've probably been able to tell, I'm indifferent to a lot of it. At best, AI is capable of replicating each of these tasks, but not in any notable or significant way. In fact, a lot of them raise questions like, how was it performed? How did the AI record it? The easy answer to both is that it was just fed thousands of pieces and then pumped out an approximation with MIDI, but how would it know how to balance each part of the mix? How to apply dynamics? Does the AI understand what instruments are and their purpose in a song? Does AI understand song structure and arrangement? Does AI know what a soundstage is? Does it know how to balance each element in the mix in an artistically cohesive way? Does AI know what a microphone is? How it should be placed in a room for certain timbral effects? How does an AI know how to master a song? What is it listening for? Does it just make the track louder regardless of genre or feel? A lot of that is speculation, since the people behind these programs and products don't really go into the musical training that their AI goes through. And this might be a good time to mention that the people pushing these programs are people from big tech companies and venture capital, not anybody from the music industry. It's perhaps because of this background that AI music programs are framed less as a replacement for human music, and more as a platform for personalized music, as Pierre Barreau from Ava explains.
And this is our vision at Ava, to personalize music so that each and every one of you and every individual in the world can have access to a personalized live soundtrack based on their story and their personality.
So this begs the question, is there a viable future for AI-created music, and could it ever replace human music professionals? The answers are yes, and not anytime soon. As I mentioned, a lot of what these programs can do isn't incredible, but for someone looking for assistance with songwriting or experimenting with new approaches to their workflow, it's definitely capable.
Artists always figure out how to adapt to new tools and make it work for them. So in some ways, it's the tools that become irrelevant, and it's humans that figure out how to make it work from them. So that's what's really, I think, exciting about AI. It gives us all an opportunity to work in this space.
In addition, the music that some of these programs create can be very useful to people who make online, in that the music is original, adaptable, and copyright free. A lot of the background music I've used for this video, in fact, was made by AI. So AI-generated music can be a great resource for creators looking for competent background music that won't get their video blocked by the site they're on, again, in this case, blip.tv. And of course, there are those who will deride anything powered by AI, and I get it. As new advances in tech democratize the process of music creation and make it easier for newcomers, it can be even easier to criticize it and those who choose to use it. But much like previous innovations like auto-tune, DAWs, drum machines, even social media to an extent, it's a tool, and while some people may use it to take the easy way out, there are also people who will use it to enhance whatever artistic message they're trying to communicate. As always, great music doesn't come from the tool, it comes from the person using it.
Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?